Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining. Today I am joined by the lovely Maxine Fothergill, the current ARLA president, but I'll let you do that, Maxine. Tell us there who, what, when, where and why about Maxine, please.
Okay,
and then we'll crack on with some questions.
Well, first of all, thank you, Nat, for inviting me along to have a chat with you today. It's an absolute pleasure to catch up with you again. My name's Maxine Fothergill. I joined the industry, well, I started my company 20 years ago. Joined the industry back in 1988, but that's another story. So we go back quite a long way with where my humble beginnings were. Saturday Girl in Bexley branch of Robinson Jackson.
Well, we're going to come on to
that one, don't you?
Yeah, I do actually. Yeah, and we're going to come on to about the career path for those coming into the industry. So yeah, sorry to interrupt. Carry on.
That's all right. And I went forward to become the vice president in 2019. So I became vice president, and then last year president-elect, and very proud to be in the current role as president of ARLA from the 30th of June this year. So going right through to end of June next year.
We are in the presence of royalty here. So thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule to do that. So yeah, I'm president of ARLA. That's obviously probably a demanding, interesting role. So tell us a bit about that. What's your day-to-day involvement as being the president?
Christ, it's been really full on. I mean, I was warned before I started that it's you take a year out of your life, and I don't think I realised that you really do take a year out of your life.
Right. Okay. So they meant it. It was good advice. Yeah.
Yes, it really is. It's very full on, and it needs 100% commitment of really getting out there and meeting people. I mean, it's been fantastic, and I have thoroughly enjoyed myself. But I'm not in my office very often, so this is a rare occasion to actually be sitting in my office. Really, with the pandemic and everything, when
I was going to say that must have been a very different.
Yeah, I mean, our diary really started sort of full on from September time. Prior to that, there was a few regional meetings, and then we started the roadshow of doing all of the regional conferences. And apart from Scotland, where Ange went up to Scotland because I had to attend one of the main board meetings, I have literally been to all the devolved nations. In fact, I've been to Wales twice, to the lovely Welsh lady, Angie Davey. So so it's been fantastic, really great getting to know the members, meeting the members, and also talking to them about their own trials and tribulations, what's going on in their own areas, how they are coping. But the really good thing, I think, as being a president is actually being able to be that conduit between myself and the ARLA, not ARLA, the main board, the Propertymark main board. Yes. I also run the ARLA board meetings, and I look after so I run the meetings for all of our regional execs. So it's actually getting out and supplying them, helping them, letting them know what's going on, having training sessions with them, getting together, finding out what's going on in their areas, running the ARLA board meetings, and then, as I say, the main board meetings, which is the main Propertymark board meetings. So being able to feed back and having that sort of, time where I can talk to the main board about what's going on, what the members are feeling, needing, what's actually happening in each area, is a very important role of actually being the president. So it's not just getting out and going to hotels and chatting to people, but
quite hands-on then, really.
Very much,
yeah. So Maxine, we touched on earlier, and I know it's something dear to your heart, about the career path for people coming into agency, the regulations and all the rest of it, and specifically, the realtor in the US has quite a glamorous image, perhaps more so than over here. But what's your take on that, and your thoughts on the career path, and particularly in comparing it to overseas in the US?
Well, it's a different animal, to be totally honest with you. It's very interesting you saying that, because we've just produced a paper, Propertymark just produced a paper on the future of renting. And you know, it's, I wish we could compare, but we can't. You know, we can only start comparing when we actually get the regulations. And I do believe every agent that's a good agent that does the job and they are 100% committed want to see regulation. I've been banging on the drum for years about us being a regulated industry. It's so important that we are. And until we are, we're treated almost like a cottage industry. So, you know, I wish we were like America, because you've got to be a licensed operator. You know, you have to have a license. And I only wish that we could have that. And we were very close to it. Lord Best had the ROPA group, the Regulation of Agents group. They were making great headway, and unfortunately COVID came in between, and then of course there's been change of ministers, etc. And it seems as if it's been kicked into the long grass for a short period of time. Let's hope it is a short period of time, and let's hope that this does come back on the table.
Well, absolutely. I think, you know, what with everything really, COVID has put paid to a lot of things, unfortunately, but, you know, a new way of working. But I'm sure it's something close to your heart, and, you know, you're actually pushing at the moment. But what would your advice be to someone coming into the industry over here? Then what's your advice?
That's one of my aims and ambitions, is apprenticeships. You know, that is what I really want to achieve during my presidential year. We have an estate agent junior apprenticeship, but we don't have a lettings agent apprenticeship, which is really fit for purpose for the private rented sector. And so I have been working extremely hard in the background, amongst all the other things I've been trying to do.
Juggling lots of balls.
With Propertymark qualifications, and we are making huge headway. I've also joined the Trailblazer group. And there is an apprenticeship at the moment, which is the Housing and Property Management Apprenticeship, which is written by the CIH, and it really is for housing associations, council housing. It's for the public sector. So it's not really fit for purpose for the PRS. However, Propertymark qualifications have put in amendments along with the other people within the Trailblazer group. It's gone to the association, which is called IFAT. Can't remember what that actually stands for, but all the amendments have actually gone forward, and there has been a change of personnel there at the moment. But I know this is something that they're going to be actively looking at in the new year. And I do believe, honestly, that it isn't a case of if, but when. We will get that apprenticeship, which will be an update for the private rented sector. So I think early next year, to springtime, we will have that apprenticeship, and that's something that I have been long awaiting for a long time. So that for me is really exciting.
Okay, well, that'd be a great achievement.
Yeah, and I can't wait for it to happen. I've been taking on apprentices here for the last 12 years, and generally I've brought them in either on an administration course, and then we've paid for them to actually do additional courses, which of course isn't ideal, because you know they're not coming in as an administrator, they're coming in as a junior apprentice in lettings. So we've had to actually sort of take on that role. I tried the CIH, and I have an apprentice here who's actually doing the CIH, so that's why I know it's not really fit for purpose. And she doesn't like the course neither. But I've said to her, she's got to bear with it. She's done nearly a year with us. It'll be a year in January. The course is around 16 months. So we've had to just try and help her and guide her through all the parts which are quite kind of irrelevant to her course. But you know, I think from next year we'll see a difference in that. So from springtime we will see a difference.
Okay, well, we look forward to that, and there is quite a lot of commitment, you know, from the business point of view for apprentices as well. But yeah, let's look forward to that for next year.